Hi everyone, this is Mr. Yasukawa once again, and today I would like to show you how to find the reading level of some different books. Reading level can be helpful to see how complicated the book is. It has to do with the vocabulary, how much inference the reader has to do, and the general complexity of the story. So um, let me just take you through the process and I can tell you more information about reading level in a bit. So to find a reading level, I like to remember as little as possible whenever possible. So to go to Google, the only thing we need to remember is something called Book Wizard. And if I look up Book Wizard, the first result that should come up should be from Scholastic Books. So Book Wizard Scholastic, you can also access Book Wizard just by clicking or typing in scholastic.com/bookwizard. So Book Wizard is a great resource. It doesn't have every book that's ever been written, but it has many of them, and the more popular ones are here. So when you're using BookWizard, you want to make sure that you're searching for all books. We'll do reading level, search by reading level at the very end, but we're searching for all books right now. And usually the grade level equivalent will be checked from first grade to 12th grade, almost in college. Um, but we want to stick to guided reading level because this is what we assess in our class. Um, Guided reading level, level A is starting kindergarten, level Z is like 7th or 8th grade reading level. So let's say you have a book and you want to know what reading level it is. All you need to do is, again, make sure guided reading level is clicked, type in the title. Sometimes others will come up and that can help you to make sure you are typing the correct one in. It should take you straight to a page, and you want to make sure it's the correct wonder. So you want to make sure it's the right author. Sometimes there are images, and then your image will come up. Some of the books will have the interest level, guided reading level, and some other information on there. This is the fastest way. If it's a very popular book, it will probably be right here for guided reading level. You can always click on the title itself to get directed to a page specific to that book where there's a book summary and there's all kinds of extra information over on the side, which we'll talk about grade level equivalent, Lexile, and DRA. There's sometimes some quizzes, some things, but basically what we want to know is what is the reading level. The book Wonder is level U. Something that can also be useful is if you want to find like a series of books and see how they change, if they change or not. So you may have heard of a series called Harry Potter. Um, it is a somewhat popular, you might have heard of it, series. Now, just like before, we have many, many possible choices for Harry Potter. So it starts conveniently with book one. We can see that book one is guided level or guided reading level V, TUV. And you just can scroll down, you can see one that's illustrated by someone else. He's a great illustrator, is also level V because the words are still the same. The illustrated version is still level V. All right, book two. Book two is still level V. Great. Book two, level V. Book three, level V. Still moving. Oh, now there's a jump from book three to book four from TUV. Now we're moving up to W. So again, this can be helpful for series that will get more complicated. You can keep scrolling and find. The reading level can change as the books get more challenging. And then for book seven, we get all the way up to Z. So that can help us for books in a series, although most series are not like Harry Potter in that they stay at the same. All Magic Tree House are the same, for example. Now, sometimes you're going to be looking up a book that does not exist in the database exactly. So, for the English Roses, for example, by Madonna, um, guided reading level is not available, but it does have an interest level, so I want to click on here anyway to see what it takes me to. But there is some information in here. and it's in Spanish. That's awesome. Guided reading level is 3 and 9/10. The Lexile is 790. The DRA is not available. Guided reading level is not available. But don't give up because the Lexile is actually a helpful way to figure this out. There are lots of charts online, and they all vary a little bit. This isn't a perfect science, but if we know that 790 is a Lexile level, I brought up a chart also through Scholastic, guided reading leveling chart, that gives you a grade level, guided reading levels, DRA level, and then Lexile levels. So in the younger grades, DRA is a more often given assessment. First grade, we can be anywhere from A to I. Any of these would be considered on grade level, more or less. Now in first grade, we can see a Lexile level starting to pop up. So I would assume that level A, actually, since D stops here in its beginning, I would guess level E is somewhere around 190, and level I is somewhere around 530. So we were back at 790. So I'm going to keep scrolling to 790. Okay, so that is within the third grade level, but it's at the upper end. So I want to keep going till I get a little bit closer. Okay, 740 here in the fourth grade level. So if we were at 790, I would estimate that the English roses would be around an M or an N. Maybe, challenging at a level N, appropriate, maybe a little bit too easy at a level M. Again, there's not a hard line in between these levels. They're definitely related. As you can see by the O through P, Q through R, ST, etc. So you can scroll through here. This chart has Z at the end of 6th grade. I've seen it all the way up to 8th. So again, it is somewhat arbitrary, but at least the Lexile can be used to get you to give an approximate level for these books. All right, one last thing I want to point out is that if you do have, your student knows their guided reading level, and like we want some books. We know that my student is at about an S. So I'm going to do plus or minus 1 RST. And again, I clicked on guided reading. You could also do this for grade level, DRA, Lexile if you know any of those. But again, guided reading level is the most straightforward for me. So I said R to T. And if I go to find, this should give me some suggestions on books to read. Now it gave me some. It gave me about 4,500 books to read, which would fill up a summer for sure. But that's a lot of books. So I can sort it by author or title. Not as helpful as scrolling down and searching by theme or subject, searching by genre, series, language, etc. So let's say I want theme or topic. The number after here gives the number of titles that are listed under it. So maybe I have a reader who's really into popular culture. Now there are 74 titles. That's still a lot, but it's better than 4,500. So if I click on that, they've now found 74 items between levels R and T in pop culture. So then, again, this is just a book list. You can click on any of them to find out for sure what they're about, pop culture. So Star Wars, definitely pop culture, will continue to be pop culture until the end of time. United States of America, so it is a mix of fiction and nonfiction. Autobiography, part of a series. Some different sports-based ones. Sports are part of pop culture. Leo DiCaprio, Sarah Michelle Gellar, Will Smith, super pop culture, really great. So this is just can be a useful way if you know a reading level. You want to challenge, your student wants to challenge themselves, you want to challenge a student, and that's where they want to go. So again, Guided reading levels are not exact. It is not an exact science, but make sure that you are clicked here and it can help you and your reader build their skills together. Um, and what they can read independently, they may be able to go up a level or two if they challenge themselves with some help. So I hope this has helped you figure that out, and you can always let me know if you have more questions. Short story, Book Wizard, guided reading level, and then type in your title. That's all you need to know. All right, hope this helps. Happy reading.